Hello and welcome to Thought for August the 2nd. Our readings are 2 Samuel chapter 19, Jeremiah chapter 23 and Romans chapters 10 and 11. And our thought is, in the latter days you will... Our 4 chapters listed for today are of great interest. David is reinstalled as king, causing great heart-searching among those who had been drawn away to follow his vain son Absalom, an example of the type of leader many may follow or have followed or elected in recent years. One of the worst being, of course, Hitler, being by far the worst example. But our chapter in Jeremiah is firstly about God's extreme anger with his people at that time. Both prophet and priest are ungodly, we read. Even in my house, the temple, I have found their evil, declares the Lord. Therefore their way shall be to them like slippery paths in the darkness. Chapter 23, verses 11 and 12. And so it is today. The scene changes dramatically as God gives his prophet a vision of the distant future, our time. The question is put, who has paid attention to his word and listened? Verse 18. Surely a valid question for today. And then come the words, behold the storm of the Lord. Wrath has gone forth, a whirling tempest. It will burst upon the head of the wicked. The anger of the Lord will not turn back until he has executed and accomplished the intents of his heart. In the latter days you will understand it clearly. Verse 19 and 20. Only those who read God's word thoroughly know the intents of his heart. And chapters 10 and 11 in Romans also climax with a latter-day application. Paul is explaining the position of Israel as a nation because they did not submit to God's righteousness, chapter 10, verse 3, and have been broken off God's olive tree that non-Jews might be grafted in, chapter 11, verse 19. The non-Jews, that is, Gentiles, are warned to stand in awe. For if God did not spare the natural branches, neither will he spare you. Verses 20 and 21. And we are fascinated to attend a Messianic Jewish synagogue last week and hear a Jew expound this chapter. It seems significant that Jewish Christians have emerged in the last 20 years or so. Finally, note verse 25 and its warning to non-Jews. Lest you be wise in your own conceits, I want you to understand this mystery, brothers and sisters. A partial hardening has come upon Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles has come in. We are surely nearing the point when the fullness, that is the full number of from God's perspective, have come in and committed their lives to Christ and the original gospel Paul preached. Then the natural branches will be grafted back into their own olive tree, we read in verse 24. Make sure you are among the fullness of the Gentiles and have paid attention to his word. For the latter days are surely here and nearly complete. Well, thank you once again for joining us for Thought for the Day, where together we can open up the pages of God's word, knowing that word to be a lamp to our feet and a light to our path.